Wholeness. Welcome to my channel. My name is Rashida Silvertree, and today's topic is sovereignty. No one can give you the power that you already have. No one can give you the power that you already have. All right, I got my handy dandy tea with me. I'm drinking raspberry tea leaf. For all the womb men out there, raspberry tea is incredibly, raspberry leaves is very, very beneficial for women. It really helps with menstrual cramps, pregnancy. It just really helps the reproductive organ. But on this little tea bag I like drinking my tea, loose leaf tea, but if it's like a supplement or something, I'll purchase the bag. But sometimes on these little bags on the packages, it has a quote. So I'm going to read it to you. The plants have enough spirit to transform our limited vision. That's by Rosemary Gladstar. I don't know who she is, but that's interesting. I'm a plant parent, so I can see that for sure. They do give off us a very, very powerful medicine, but that'll be another video. All right, so power. Taking back your power. Realizing that no one can give you the power that you already have. Right? It's going beyond that limited perception, that limited vision, right? And so we've all heard of the phrase, take back your power. Usually I think what I'm seeing right now is a group of women hanging out together and in their little women's circle, and they're all supporting each other, going through challenging times. And usually when I hear the word take back your power, it's usually, I feel like that whole phrase is geared towards individuals that in some way feel limited by something outside themselves, right? Something outside themselves that's oppressing them, that's suppressing them, that's making them feel smaller than what they are, that's dicing up their self-perception and their confidence. And so truly I feel that the power is your confidence, is your ability to focus, it's your agreement with the contract that you make and create with yourself. It's following through what you set out to do. It is your solar plexus. It is that ambition, that assertiveness, that even aggressiveness. I'm hearing the phrase, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. It's that inner strength that we are all born with, that is tested throughout our entire existence until we leave our body, till we leave this world. And so it's the self-realization that you already have what you're seeking, or you already have what you feel or think or believe that you don't possess. I'm going to let this sit for a little bit because it is piping hot and I don't want to scold myself, so I'm just going to put it right there. Okay. And so no one can give you a quality or attribute that you already have. If anything, they can help you expand and break through your limited vision, your limitations. Teachers, mentors, friends, family, people that you trust, right? Your community can help you break through your sense of lack, right, within yourself. Or I don't have the power to change this. I don't have the power to change that. And you know what? To be quite honest with you, and how society is set up, how the patriarchal society is set up, is a lot of, for example, these industries and systems that we have in place. There are a lot of issues. There are a lot of problems in our educational systems. There are a lot of problems in our medical, in the medical industry. There are a lot of problems in the financial industry. There are a lot of problems, in the familial, communal, societal, family structure. that we have, especially in the Western world, and maybe just globally. And a lot of that can feel overwhelming. A lot of that we feel like we have no power to make a difference or to create a difference. But his story has shown us over millennia that one voice, one solid voice can change and give off a ripple into that will go for multiple generations, right? The civil rights movement, people who protest, for a good cause, the right cause, right? And so, when we feel weak, when we're in the space of limitation and limited beliefs, we feel small. We feel like we can't, like we don't have it. We don't have what we're looking for, and not realizing that we don't need to look outside anymore. And a solution to this issue is creating the space to go within yourself, right? Creating that going into that stillness within the self to hear yourself. When you are able to identify your limited beliefs, when you're able to identify your limited belief system, and you can hear the inner critic, you can hear, everyone has a mom voice and a dad voice, right? Because they're our first human interaction. They teach us what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, all that good stuff. And sometimes it's not always functional. Sometimes it's not always a healthy way in how they raised us, but yet it's our part of our foundation. And so what happens is we suppress, we oppress ourselves. We oppress and we keep things down deep inside ourselves. And so that oppression is then mirrored back to us, reflected back to us in our workplace, in our personal relationships, in our friendships, our role in the community, the careers that we choose. A lot of that's mirrored back to us. A lot of the voices that we need to pay attention to and listen to within ourselves, that it needs to be heard. And yes, therapy can most certainly help you identify these hidden silenced voices that pretty much rule the scene. I have a saying called the unseen rules the scene. Things that you cannot see, actually, they're ruling you. They're ruling your internal world. Your internal world is then reflected back to you. You put that out in the external world, and the external world gives you what you give out. But once we create that space to slow down, to really slow down, and we begin to sit, and meditation is perfect for this. Okay, silent meditation is really a great, powerful practice. To sit no less than 30 minutes. I would say max 2 hours, but 30 to 2 hours of silent meditation, and that's advanced, I would say. I guess for the modern people out there, you're juggling a career and whatnot, it's 2 hours max, but I would say 30 minutes. You work yourself up to 30 minutes, but when you create that space to expand yourself, you can hear the voice, and then you realize there are many voices telling you, and they're programming you, and it's when you allow these voices to have the space and the air to come through, then you can identify with the voice, right? You can, and when I say voices, I mean internal dialogue. And a lot of the times we numb ourselves so much with bad food, crappy media consumption. We distract ourselves with problems, work issues. We focus on problems that we actually can't really control. We make that our job and our mission, so that we just we can avoid this inner work. But man, when you slow down and you begin to listen to these voices, the screams, the bitterness, the anger, emotions are voices of the spirit. And the emotions of the spirit can come out and they can externalize themselves and attack and attach themselves to other people when they're not heard. So when someone says to you, take your power back, it's really dismantling that silent, that mute button. We hit the mute button so that we don't hear our mom, the voice of our mom, or the voice of our dad, or the voice of that teacher that really said something very disheartening, that kind of threw you off of threw your confidence off and made you second guess yourself. Or or that one employer or boss that said something or did something to you, and you're just kind of like, we mute those wounds, those emotional wounds. We don't really give them we don't listen to them. And then when the unlistened to metamorphosizes into a behavior, right? Whether we begin to harm ourselves, through procrastination, or through distraction, or through confusion and indecisiveness, this is real. And on part of this, the reason why I'm saying this is I'm actually going through it too. I'm 35 years old. I'm pushing 40. And it's so incredibly amazing when you begin to listen. When you slow down and you begin to listen to yourself. And that makes you a better listener to others. So when we break down the barrier of our limited perception of the self, we then begin to unravel and realize that we have the power. We have all that I listed at the beginning of this video: confidence, willpower, assertiveness, a little bit of aggression, well, maybe not so much aggression. You don't want to scare off people, right? You don't want to come off as mean or cruel. But you have that go-getter attitude. You have that determination to complete something or to go after something that's in your heart. And when you allow those attributes to have a voice, then you really shine through, right? Those self-limiting belief system, I'm not going to say completely disappears. I'm not saying that this is just like an easy thing and all of your self-doubt is just going to go away. No, when you open the channel to allow those voices to have the platform, right? You sit in meditation and you allow sadness to speak. The sadness in you. You allow the frustration to speak. You allow the anger to speak. You allow doubt to speak. You allow confusion to speak. And when you have these channels open within yourself, then it's less, you become more empowered. You're not, because you know the voice of your confusion. You know the voice of your anger. You know the voice of your sadness. You know the voice of your doubt. And it doesn't consume you. It doesn't intimidate you. And this is taking your power back. We all have weaknesses. We all have, self-limiting belief systems. We do. We come into this world fresh and new. And then, our parents carry the beacon of their ancestors and they give it to us. And it can be a very heavy load. So heavy that you rather just... I remember I made a video about like how the heart can become a stone. And it's up to us to alchemize that stone into a crystal, right? To turn that hard, dark stone and alchemize that into this beaming, glowing, beautiful crystal of the heart. And so this is also like a powerful form of alchemy, you know? And so that's where I'm going to leave the message. Let me know what you think about that. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again.